Hello guys and welcome back to TirsbaekTV, where today, thanks to Syncro Gearboxes, we are going to be installing a slick shifter into the TD5, which basically reduces the travel on the gear lever so that your gear changes are much tighter and feel a lot more like an actual car rather than a Defender, which feels like you're stirring gravy with a dead fish. And apparently it only takes about 15 minutes to install, but those are always famous last words, so we will see about that and report back to you on that in a minute, or 15.
The kit includes the new pin shifter, a nylon cup, and a blue anodized aluminium spacer with 4 new longer bolts to accommodate for the increased length of the new pin. This mod requires a fairly simple palette of tools. Obviously this could vary from person to person, as it did for us, owing to the condition of the Landy. However, according to Syncro Gearboxes, all you should need is a pair of circlip pliers, a flat-headed screwdriver, and 17, 13 and 10mm spanners. But that's best case scenario. Either way, it looks to be a relatively easy install.
So as I said before, the Defender gearbox is not the most direct, and as we can see in neutral we've got a lot of slack here, and going down into fourth for example, you can see how much play we have there in the gear lever. And then even so, actually finding the gears is also another issue, so hopefully installing this slick shifter should help that.
To install the slick shifter, we're going to have to remove the gear stick. So the first thing to do is to remove the knobs on top of both levers and the rubber surround at the base.
So typically Defenders are always different when you start taking bits off, and inevitably my one here has a few other bits that I haven't seen on other Defenders on YouTube, and it's got some kind of sound insulation foam stuff here, and then also interestingly another rubber cover here kind of at the bottom of the gear lever covering up the turret.
Next, you'll need to undo the 17mm bolt at the base of the gear lever to remove it. After this, you'll want to remove the 4 13mm bolts at the base of the gear stick's turret. Removing this will reveal the quadrant below, which is where you'll also find the nylon cup we'll be replacing.
So we've got the turret out of the gearbox, and this is the pin that we're going to be replacing. This is the old one, which is much shorter than the new one we've got, which we're going to be putting in. And it looks like it's in fairly good condition, which is all good, apart from this seal down here, which could do with replacing. But there's not much wear down the sides here. I know that's quite a susceptible area for wear, because this is made out of a much softer aluminium compared to the steel which this pin is made out of, but we're looking pretty good.
Removing and later putting the springs back on is arguably the trickiest bit of this install. But using a flat-headed screwdriver to pry them off, and with a bit of patience, it shouldn't be too difficult. You can also do this before you remove the turret from the car if you wish, but considering our turret had a rubber covering in the way, we decided to remove it first to get at it.
So we've got the old pin and the new pin here side by side. You can see the new one is much longer. Something else to watch out for, which we've just found out the hard way, is that when you take this one out, there is a spring inside this hole, which obviously will fly out if you pull it out without some care, which is what we've just discovered, so we've got to look for that spring right now.
To be able to remove the nylon cup, you will need to remove the whole quadrant from the vehicle. To do so, put the car into 4th gear to allow it enough room to get out, and unscrew the 5mm grub screw. When you reinsert this grub screw, it's a good idea to use some kind of thread locking fluid, as this screw coming loose will result in a seriously sloppy gear lever. The seal between the turret and the gearbox was ruined, so we're going to be using some liquid sealant to make up for this. And this is where you'll want to put your bright blue aluminium spacer. It's also wise to grease up the new pin when you insert it into the turret. Once the new pin is in, you can adjust the springs by turning the bolts they rest on. This will decide how much play you have in the gear stick. Then to finish, simply slide back on the rubber and foam coverings if you have them. When putting everything back together, be sure that everything is tightened sufficiently, as you definitely don't want to be losing the function of your gear lever while driving.
So we can immediately see a huge improvement in how little slack there is in the gear changes. So all that's left to do is to take it out for a test drive and actually try it out on the road. Hello guys, I am back once again. I'm now out road testing this Slick Shift. And my first impressions are, well, it is fantastic. I can't tell you how impressive this is and how much good it's done to the gearbox in my Defender. Because, you know, older Defenders, basically any pre-Puma Defenders, the gearbox isn't so direct, it feels pretty sloppy, it's difficult to find gears. But this just feels direct, it's smooth, it's sharp, gears are easy to find, it feels like a normal car. Not that I know what a normal car feels like because I've lived with Land Rovers my whole life, but it feels fantastic and a million times better than what it normally feels like, and it's such a simple modification at the same time. You know, didn't take that much time to install. You don't need to be a mechanical wizard to be able to install it. The only fiddly bit was, you know, maneuvering those springs. But you know, that just takes a bit of patience, and that's that. I'm blown away actually, really, by how good this is. One of the best Defender products out there. And to be honest, if I'd known about this product, I probably would have bought one a long time ago, but I didn't really know it was a thing until Syncro Gearboxes actually contacted us. So if you're interested in this product, which you should be, then you know, head over to syncrogearboxes.com and also check out their Facebook page, and be sure to get one if that's what you're looking for. And also check out TirsbaekTV on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and be sure to share this with all your Land Rover mates out there, because this is an absolute worthy buy. It's fantastic, it really is. I can't recommend it enough, and that's not me trying to be a salesman. It is just my honest opinion with my genuine first impression of this product. It really is good. So huge thank you to Syncro Gearboxes for allowing us this opportunity to test out their product, and thank you to all of you for watching, and we will see you very soon. Good gear change and a nice exhaust sound. What more can a man want in life?